Good morning, everyone. Here is the continuation of our report on survey research. I'm Myra P. Gabinay, and I'm going to discuss using a mailed questionnaire. The term mail questionnaire refers to the instrumentation of a self-administered survey that has been laid out and reproduced on a paper-based printed medium with the intention that data collection operations will be implemented via traditional postal service deliveries. Questionnaires can be mailed out to a sample of the population, enabling the researcher to connect with a wide range of people. The questionnaire is typically sent in the packet that contains a cover sheet introducing the research being conducting and a prepaid return envelope for the responses. While the response rate is typically lower than the other forms of questionnaires, they can be improved with reminders and incentives. As we move on, we are going to discuss the factors that contribute to the success of a mailed questionnaire. As we discussed previously, it isn't always practical to obtain survey data using an interview format. In these cases, questionnaires are used, and quite often they are mailed to respondents. A well-constructed questionnaire is an important factor influencing response rate. On this part of our discussion, you will learn the overall arrangement of the questions, the cover letter, the follow-ups, and other factors that contribute to the success of a mailed questionnaire. The first factor is directions. It is very important to begin with precise directions to tell the respondents exactly what to do. In a questionnaire, it indicates how and where they are to mark their responses. For example, the direction on a particular questionnaire is like this. It tells that, please indicate your response to the following questions by placing an X in the box next to the answer of your choice. Or please use a number 2 pencil and indicate your answers by blocking in the appropriate bubbles on the separate scannable answer sheet. And then, if the format changes within the questionnaire, it includes new directions for the section. The second factor is order of questions. Once the questions are written, they must be arranged in an appropriate order. The order of questions is important because it can influence the respondent's interest in completing the questionnaire. The very first question should be especially interesting and easy enough for all the respondents to interpret and answer. If respondents are motivated to answer the first question, they are more likely to continue with the questionnaire. The first question should seek worthwhile information that is clearly related to the topic under consideration. For this reason, never begin a questionnaire with questions relating to age, gender, education, occupation, ethnic origin, marital status, and the like. The respondents may regard these questions as irrelevant or as an invasion of privacy and may therefore decide not to continue with the questionnaire. It could end up in the nearest wastebasket. Researchers also recommend that the first few questions be of the close-ended type, which the respondent can complete quickly, instead of open-ended ones that may require a long written response. Group together questions that are similar in content. For example, in a questionnaire asking university faculty about the basic academic skills of their students, all the questions on reading would be placed together. In grouping the questions together, if you have the questions about writing, it would appear together, followed later by the questions related to the mathematics. And then, within the content areas, group items according to the type of questions. For example, the questions requiring a simple yes or no answer would be placed together, as would items requiring respondents to rank or indicate the extent of agreement or disagreement. Then, always remember within each of the topic areas, arrange the questions in good psychological order. A logical or psychological arrangement contributes to better thought out answers on the part of the respondents. For our example, first, ascertain whether respondents were satisfied with working conditions before asking them to recommend changes. If both general and specific questions are asked on a topic, place the general question first. In a questionnaire, you have to remind yourself that objective items on an issue or situation should precede the more subjective questions. Questions that are less likely to be actionable should precede items that are not more objectionable. On where people are sometimes reluctant to answer questions about their attitudes, the preferences, their motives, behavior, personal feelings, and the like. But if objective questions can be used first to clarify and specify the situation, it may be easier for individuals to respond. Let us now talk about the matrix sampling. A procedure called matrix sampling is sometimes used when the survey is long and the accessible population is large. This technique involves randomly selecting respondents, each of whom is administered a subset of questions, randomly selected from the total set of items. The practical advantage of using matrix sampling is a decrease in the time required for each individual to respond. This is an important advantage because one obstacle to obtaining a high response rate is the unwillingness of some individuals to take the time to answer a long questionnaire.